Hi guys, welcome to the channel. So this is going to be my first video that I'm going to post for P3 Golf, and I wanted to address I had a customer come in today. He was buying a set of used irons, or had already bought a used set of irons, and he said that right-handed player. He said that the toe of the irons, so let's just say toe side, heel side shaft this way, was too far off the ground for him at address, and he had noticed it and wanted to have us bend them. And it was, hey Joe, can you go help this guy out and maybe tweak his lie angle? I'm not sure what he wants, how much he needs to bend it. I said, yeah, sure, and went and talked to that customer. And whenever I discuss lie angle with somebody, before I even really have them hit any golf balls, the thing I like to really do is just discuss where's the ball flight going. So right-handed player again, what shot shape do you normally hit? He said he hits a tiny little fade, has always hit a fade, wants to continue hitting a fade. I said, awesome. So did you hit these irons yet? He said, yeah. I said, where were they going? He was like, I was hitting a little fade. And for me, honestly, pretty normal situation, happens all the time. I really don't want to change that lie angle. And I said, okay, great. So at least it's doing what you want them to do. Do you know why you want to change the lie angle? Mentioned that the toe was in the air, like I said, and said, all right, so let's understand that a couple of different things happen in the golf swing. Most of us understand that a shaft will flex backwards, okay? So as we're in our downswing, that shaft is bowing back, and technically speaking, the club head is open as it happens. Obviously, in the swing, that can change and you can manipulate it, but that shaft bends backwards. The other thing that people don't know is that a shaft will actually also droop. So it's a second direction of the bend. So we can call it x-axis is the one that most of us know. We feel it bend backwards. But then there's also the Z or Y, I'm sorry, if you will, where it actually the toe of the club will bend down as you're coming through impact. And technically that's a dynamic flattening of the lie angle of the iron, or any golf club for that matter, and that impacts lie angle. So the toe will actually lower into impact. So let's say we started square, and as we come into impact, because of this droop, the toe will dip just a little bit. And again, this is now leading into other things where shaft fitting becomes very important, understanding the speed of the golfer, what shaft they're playing, what weight they're playing, what flex they're playing, because that can impact how much a shaft or how little a shaft will droop, and that directly correlates to lie angle. So kind of coming full circle here, he says at address, the toe's in the air, but he's hitting his exact ball flight he wants to hit. I said, excellent. So I explained to him real quick, just like I did for all of you, that we expect this shaft to deviate down, right? Where it's going to toe down, it's going to droop into impact, and probably ends up from his normal position, slightly toe up, it starts to get square, okay? So he's delivering the shot he's used to, the ball's taking off at his target, hits a little baby fade. He's always played for that and accounted for that. So while I told the customer, and he had brought these in for a grip change and some lie angle adjustments, and I told him, I said, listen, I am more than happy to do your lie angle change, but it's more important to actually make sure that our ball flight is really, really consistent with what we're used to, what we want it to be doing. And then the second thing is also quality of strike, right? We can have a lie angle that is too dramatic, whether it's too flat or too upright, where all of a sudden the toe starts digging first into impact. That can cause us to actually hit slightly thin shots, because now the center of the golf club is actually a little bit higher than the toe. Toe impacts turf first. It tends to open the face a little and hit a little bit of a fade. The opposite can also happen. It's too upright. The heel will catch. Again, usually a thin contact strike, as long as we're geometric center, right? But that heel catches first. That toe section of the golf club slams around. It goes faster, shuts a little bit, and then you can actually hit a little bit of a pull, a hook, a draw. So, there are definitely several things to keep in mind with lie angle, but it's always important to have it checked, especially in forged irons. Those can move on you over time. some of the best stuff out there, typically the softer stuff out there, bends more or is easier to bend. Well, that also means it's going to bend when you're practicing, hitting golf shots, playing a lot of golf. So I tell people to check their stuff, especially if they're an avid golfer, an avid practicer. Try to check your stuff maybe once a quarter or twice a year. And then for some of your stuff that's a little bit firmer, your cast irons, that tends to stay in its position longer, but you can still obviously check those as well. And then in my experience, people who hit off of mats that are on top of concrete tend to have lie angles adjust more frequently and faster, just because, you're not obviously hitting the concrete, but that concrete is rebounding. It's a firmer surface, and that iron is going to be going through a little bit more of a violent impact, more G-forces, if you will, at impact, and causing the lie angle to adjust more. So I have seen that be a factor with people. But again, it never hurts. Always have that conversation with your club fitter. Your swing coach may or may not understand all of the dynamics to this. And sometimes they just say, hey, flat means you're going to hit a fade, upright means you're going to hit a draw. Not necessarily. It's a start direction thing more than it is a ball flight correction tool. And I shouldn't say it's not a correction tool. It is a correction for an improperly fit golf club. Again, you have to be hitting your ball flight that you want to hit. It has to be starting where you want to hit it. You have to be getting the shot shape you want to hit it. And obviously, we have to be hitting it solid. So, I hope that helps clarify a few things. Obviously, if you have questions, leave comments for me. So thank you for tuning in. I appreciate all of the views. And if you can, I know it's cheesy. It's all the algorithm stuff. Give me a like. Give me a subscription if you can. And as I post more videos, you'll get updated for all that content. Thank you so much.